Why, hello there, and either welcome or welcome back. The numbers are sometimes increasing. I'm very irritated by this. I don't get where those numbers even come from. Like, I've watched the analytics page for quite a while. I shouldn't be ranting about this, I should be talking about the game, I suppose. But yeah, I don't get things. That is nothing new. Anywho's, as you can clearly see, this is something new for this here channel. This is indeed Rogue Trader. It is the game that I'm currently like, I want to play this very badly. It has a lot of nice mechanics that I enjoy. And I love the universe. Like, I'm not in the deep end of the lore, let's put it like that. Like, I do know some very general things, so I'm not into that franchise too much, but what I see I do like. So, fairly simple. So, we are a sanctioned psyker, as can be clearly seen here. We are a Voidborn. It is a part of the things that we can decide in the beginning. Like, we decide our homeworld, it will determine like which stats are increased or decreased in that instance, and some talents that which are not available right away, but will be available later on. I like this ability very much. For like most like speech-based or argumentative sake, like things, there would be like the fellowship score used to determine the outcome of said interaction. So if I wanted to coerce something, if I'm trying to do commerce or persuade someone, I would instead use intelligence. We are getting a bonus due to being from Voidborn, and another one from being a sanctioned psyker. So yeah, I like that with this we are basically replacing all our fellowship skills into intelligence-based skills. For my origin, as mentioned, I've chosen the Psyker, mostly because I'm very curious on how this will turn out. As a Psyker, you are... yeah. It is, like, for those who are not in the Warhammer 40k, or not into that, it is a type of mage, but it comes at a greater cost. I'm not able to explain it very well in English. But yeah, each time we cast a spell, we have basically the ability, or we can make it happen that there will be kind of a tear in reality, and we will let things from the other side slip into the real world and stuff like that. That's the best I can explain it right now with my own words. But yeah, I think that is very cool. My future husband who played the game, he played, I think, as the Navy officer, maybe? I'm not quite sure on that one. Maybe it was the Noble, I'm not sure. But I wanted to have like a very different playstyle from him, that's first off. And secondly, one of his characters that accompanied him was a Psyker. In the end, he's kind of succumbed to his magic in a way, and he had to be executed, which was very unfortunate because my husbando in Spe liked that character very much. As a sanctioned psyker, I've decided for a diviner because I like the probabilityness of it. We have like forewarning, that is our first ability. It gives our party a bonus on dodging or parrying, and as we can see with our homeworld, we have very similar things. Like we can enhance stats of our party or decrease stats from our party depending on our wound points and things like that. That is if we unlock that. These abilities, we can take a look at them. but they will be also unlockable only later. For now, we have for warning. And with unlockable later, I mean like we have the option to unlock them. We probably won't be able to unlock all of them. I'm not yet sure on that one. I've played through the prologue, through the tutorial kind of thing, not much further. A little bit further, not much. That's kind of like background related things. This one is giving us a bonus to lore for Zenus. This one takes away of our lore in regards to warp, which don't matter much as we are also gaining from one of our... From the fact that we are a sanctioned psycho, we are already gaining a +10 to warp lore. And overall, yeah. I've chosen the operative. As the operative, if we like take a look here, this is like the first skill with which we start. It's the analyze enemy one. It is based around perception, which is a stat from which a psyker, namely a diviner, does benefit. Not all psykers benefit from the same stat, like willpower I think is, for most of them, very relevant. But yeah, we also benefit a lot from perception, which also does the operative. Hold on. Like, I would like to have a general overview. Yeah, intelligence and perception is what they use. Ah, yeah, there we go. We have some skills unlocked with this or related to this, which would be tech use and logic. We can enhance those when we level up. So yeah, that's why I chose the operative. There is an argument to go soldier, both of which, both the operative and the soldier can also be skilled into master tactician and the bounty hunter. I'm currently opting for bounty hunter, as it is again a class that uses mainly perception and I think ballistic in this case. But ballistics we also have like high up. Like I'm aiming for a kind of sniper-ish build, I guess. Why is there reason to consider the soldier? The soldier has the ability run and gun. Run and gun works with your spells as well. So we can decide to walk up to, for example, an opponent, decide to use a spell, use the run and gun, move away after we've done what we've did, if like there was like a limited range on the spell or something like that, and then we can either use our gun or again use another psyker ability. So yeah, that works with those as well. For characteristics, I've put 2 points into ballistic skills. 2 points means 5 points each, so that's 10 points into ballistics, another 10 points in intelligence, and another 10 points into perception. We have gained some willpower from being a Voidborn and from being a sanctioned Psyker. We also have gained some intelligence from our place of origin, which is the Voidborn again. And for the toughness, we have gained a bonus from being a sanctioned Psyker, and a decrease due to being Voidborn in strength. So yeah, that is currently our character. That is our ship. It is the Unbound Everest. And our character, I want to play him like relatively pragmatic. So yeah, that is the result. That is what we have, and let's get right into it. Like currently we can see his face. It will be gone again. I don't know why the cutscene keeps doing that, but oh well.
excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity.
This is the second time of me doing this recording. Previously there were like tooltips which I would have read out. I'm not doing that again. Not again. Like if there is a big one on the screen, maybe later in the game I will. Not right now. Okay. The last file got corrupted. Well, my own fault. But oh well. I've described my character as relatively pragmatic. And honestly, he wants to be kind of a hermit in a way, a little bit of a recluse of sorts. So yeah, do you have a particular reason for disturbing me?
My apologies. I did not seek you out to pester you with unwanted attention.
I cannot use the numpad.
Allow me to
apparently
introduce myself. Conrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencius. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
My name's Holt.
My regards, Master. Or should I say, von Valencius, scion of a blessed rogue trader house in the service of the Imperium. Perhaps this kinship came as a shock to you. Understandably so, given that all evidence of the connection was lost in the generations separating you and Lord Captain Theodora. It required no small effort on the part of Her Ladyship's servants to discover and verify this blood tie, which has now made you one of the heirs of this dynasty.
I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let us address that.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far.
Alright.
The Lord Captain and Master Edelthrad von Valencius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
So yeah, we can move around using the middle mouse button and WASD to move the camera. I'm currently
Is there money to be made?
smoking, so yeah, I'm playing this one-handed, which is also why this game is currently very much something I currently favor. I'm just gonna wait at the door. Like, come on, man. There's like also these occasionally like when we moved close to the table, those signs popping up. I see like if I press tab, I could like take a look at those people I would be able to speak to, or things that I can interact with, which is like the bubble that popped up. But there's nothing to gain from that. I can tell you that much right now already.
One of the von Valencius trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
What's happening? Run! The servitors have gone berserk! To arms!
Oh, yeah, those symbols I meant. So we have our first taste of combat. It is not a proper combat, it is a tutorial combat. It isn't even a complete tutorial combat. We are starting off out with a very sucky weapon. As Psyker of this sort, I was yet not able to save any of those guys, so let's just start the battle, knowing that everyone will die. By the way, we are playing on the daring difficulty. I've played it on normal, and in normal it is more of a breeze. Like, boss fights are still quite intense. In combat here, which I have to get used to, you can move and then do whatever, an attack or some things. Some abilities, yeah, you can like use abilities and things like that. If you use an attack, you cannot move again. So that is why the run and gun ability from the soldier would come in handy. If I were to move and move out of, move out again. But same goes for enemies. If he will move up here, he will attack that guy, and he cannot move again to then kill this one. Those were standing next to one another, so that one works. Yeah, we're moving a little bit ahead.
I have strategy.
Right here we have the Veil Degradation. Whenever I use a Psyker ability, you know, when a Psyker reach deeper into the warp to power their abilities, there's always a chance of the Empyrean bleeding out into our reality, which is what I tried to describe. It failed miserably. A factor that is invariably destructive and damaging. At the beginning of combat, Veil Degradation usually starts at 0. Veil Degradation increases by 1 for each use of a minor psychic power, and by 3 for each use of a major psychic power. It decreases by 1 each round. Okay. So we are using the Analyze Enemy. It doesn't do much.
It's as good as done.
I think it would add some bonus damage for the first attack to trigger it. I'm not yet 100% certain which attacks do trigger it, however. I know other operatives can trigger it. I'm not certain on melee attacks if they could trigger it. Like, let me check it out. Okay, no. I would have to take a look at the exploits. Can do that later. I'm currently using like the forewarning. Maybe he will survive this. Again, on this difficulty it is very unlikely that he will survive. So if we take this shot, we can see like a preview of what we would deal as damage.
On it.
And thus we cannot move out of harm's way, even though we had originally still movement points left. But we used an attack, and thus we can no longer move. We end our turn, and things commence. So we don't need to stand here to attack him with our gun. We can see the radius of that. So I'm moving back. That guy will be sacrificed, I suppose. From there we can like check. We can use this ability again. Right now we are still able to move. Like, if I would need to adjust, like maybe one square there, I can do just so.
Let's make some opportunities.
And I missed, as I usually do. So we end the turn. He attacks. He pews. He did not trigger our ability, I think. Yeah, he did not. Like, we had the exploits. At the start of each turn, the operative inflicts 1 stack of exploit effect or to an enemy's operative's line of sight. If the operative hits a target with an exploit stack, yeah, okay. Only other operatives are able to trigger that one. So yeah, let's actually move away, like attack that guy first. He won't, but let's like in theory, if I manage to land the hit, he should be dead. I need to move one forward though.
I'll make it happen. You never stood a chance.
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan. I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
First, however, game autosaved. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Like, I've turned this one off, like, in the character creator. I don't know why it keeps turning it on once you are in the game. There's currently nothing that we can loot. We can press tab. We can inspect those corpses. The wires on the servitor's head are still smoldering. It would seem the cause of this malfunction was the short-circuiting of the motive force. Okay, like we can take a look at all those trophies. Thus far, I have
always
not
keep
been
my
able to
options
return
open.
into this room. I'm outside of the tutorial. Like, if you're interested, it basically shows the great exploits of Theodora von Valencia, as will be mentioned many times. The full name. Oh, wow. So yeah, that's some great stuff she acquired there.
That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad?
We have some options here. We can just stay in silence, and then the conversation would go on. We could interrupt if we are eager to do that, I suppose. But we can also survey the room. Then we get like a small glimpse of the characters that we are dealing with. As you've noticed, currently all the characters are reading all the texts out. This will not be the case throughout the game. It will be the case for most of the tutorial. Maybe you've noticed that not everything has been read out, like some things are very descriptive. The tall grey-haired woman pins him with her gaze, a cybernetic eye, flashing crimson. That is like the subtext, a descriptive form. Those are never read out. There is like no narrator or some such. And if we survey the room, we also get only texts, not read out text. So, yeah, no audio. Your first impression of Edelfrad, who appears to be about 30 years old, is of a parchment-like skin stretched over a tightly bundled mass of sinew, implants and bone. The nervously twitching fingers, the face twisted by a slight tic, and the jerky movements are all signs of some illness or defect that has taken over his physical form. In stark contrast to Edelthred, Theodora von Valencia's features appear as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. Head raised high, proud posture, hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the difference in status between her and Edelthred. Next to the two of them, you see two more men. One is a grey-haired officer of impeccable bearing who is studying the contents of his data slate. The other is a behemoth bristling with holsters and baldricks containing all manner of weapons.
Our second candidate has joined us. Approach and give me your answer. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
We have a couple of options. We have a couple of skill checks, which would be explained. The game does do passive skill checks, not only for you but also for your for your party members. And if either of them have like a higher score in that stat, that is the ally that will be able to answer in this instance. Like we could say, you answer that, or an ally just, just answers for you in that behalf. In this case, however, we are firstly alone, and I believe that if you just have these skills, you will succeed automatically on them. The first one is Xenos related. This is the one that I will answer with. It seems to me like the most logical out of these, or the pragmatical out of these ones. We have one that includes also the warp knowledge that we have. But if you read it out, like if you pause and just read it, you will see why I, as a psyker, would maybe not answer with that one. We could also take this choice. It is also a rather pragmatical one. This is a rather dogmatic answer. Same as this one. And of course we can decide to be dumbfounded. I think our character would go with the first option. Those spirits could well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify that it is indeed the case, and if the population of Alien 6 engages in xeno worship.
Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor.
Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you are simply unaware of their existence.
Like, again, if you want to read all of these, just pause the video, I suppose. I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do, Edelfred.
Insolent, ignorant upstart. How dare you?
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
So, why are you here?
Well, there are questions that I wish to have answered.
You are direct. I approve. But you will have to wait. There is something I want you to understand first. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon. Resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with Fon Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
The other one mentioned already, but one of. Does this mean there are other heirs?
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Ethelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. Bloodright alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
If you're satisfied with Ethelfred, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me?
Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Ethelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse. It says in your profile that you bear the brand of sorcery, albeit sanctioned sorcery that is permitted in the service of the Imperium. I am accustomed to the presence of psychos at my side. More than that, I value their unique abilities highly. Perhaps that is why I am so intrigued by Ethelthrad's candidacy. A rogue trader psyker could achieve great things indeed. However, psychers are fragile creatures, and as such I would rather have a replacement standing ready in the event that something happens to Ethelthrad. Moreover, your remarkable mental abilities were noted in your profile. If you can find a way to exhibit them in the service of the Fon Valancius dynasty, well, so much the better.
Did I hear correctly the Master of Whispers is related to you?
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name Fon Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly and, as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voitvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
Well, thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now?
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
An incident took place on the officer's deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is ancient. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live.
Where's your ship headed?
The Rycad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rycad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time.
Alright, and what am I supposed to do here? Or what are my current responsibilities?
Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Ethelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide.
Well, I have no more questions then.
In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
And we end the dialogue. Find ourselves into a cutscene again. Like the cutscenes, I appreciate it much that it is made with like in-game graphics, mostly in-game mechanics, or they are drawn images. Like I like that.
Example out of you.
I need to mind where I place the mouse. Again, this is another like a kind of practice combat. Here we learn about you know, covers. Or taking cover. It is not the full expense of combat, however.
I serve the ruinous powers! Out of my way! Death to the weak!
Like you can see, like I use now a Psyker ability. I am a sanctioned Psyker, thus my bar does not fill as fast. We will meet another Psyker, which will be part of our team. But for now, that is what we have and what we see. Sure, let's, I don't know, target this one.
Good as done.
I don't think anyone is an operative like me, so I doubt they will be able to benefit from my exploits.
Don't let your guard down. Your end was inevitable.
I'm doing surprisingly well. I think I have to check again the difficulty setting.
Death to non-believers!
But I think apart from like spaceship fights, so fighting with the spaceship against other spaceships, I have left it on daring. The other one would have been normal difficulty.
One fewer target.
In contrast to Baldur's Gate, we are also able to advance the combat faster by pressing down the space button. For now, I'm gonna leave it like this.
I serve the ruinous powers!
Apparently I did not turn off that one. But yeah, those are like the pop-ups that come in. I have a positive effect. I have to kill them from Theodora, who is a noble. So she's giving us orders to kill someone, I think. Someone specific. Okay, we just gain a bonus on ballistic skills. Okay, cool, got it. I can do this. Can actually do that one. I don't think he will lose his
I'll make it
effect.
happen.
yeah, they're both still benefiting from this effect. Like, he's having it, she's having it. Like, over time I can equip the whole crew with this effect. But again, it will expand this year thing.
On it. Another enemy down.
As you can see, we are able to move a little bit out of the cover when we're shooting. We have to keep in mind the line of sight. So, if we have a line of sight and we target something there, if we see it, like, we have the potential to strike one of our allies and our enemies, obviously. But yeah.
Look out.
My place is at the fore.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive.
There is swearing in this game, but you are probably used from that by me. If you are, again, if you are welcomed back, that is.
Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
Yeah, we are currently traveling through the warp, hence we need a navigator and a reader. I don't remember. Translator. Translator was the term, and yeah. So what is happening?
From what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other decks.
Oh, the casters are not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I will need a direct channel to the engine seer prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them.
The incident with the rampage and servitors may be connected to what is transpiring now.
Possibly. Quite likely. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation.
Well, then what are your orders?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the arch-militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
That character just looks like so not in a hurry.
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on time, eh, Kunrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mort, hold yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
Mutiny? Who would attempt a mutiny here in the warp?
Lunatics, fools, heretics. This ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Pernicious thoughts and warp-induced delusions could have tainted any one of them. It is a difficult notion to accept, but such risks are inescapable. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once. Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance. And if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-militant. And taking into consideration Edelthrad's psyker powers.
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
In whatever state, what does that mean?
We are in the warp. Considering the attack, there could be a disruption in the Gellerfield and the infiltration of malevolent forces onto the decks. Psychers can react to such things in the most unpredictable ways.
And I, as a psychic, have no clue about this.
Enough! Master of Whispers, you must not allow my heir to turn into a mindless mutant and to perish under Enforcer fire. Do whatever it takes to bring Edelthrad back to me.
Well, I hear and obey, Lord Captain.
Then move out! Mort, come.
Like, currently all the choices that we are making, I don't know how much they impact the game. There will be some very obvious choices, it will even state so, as this choice is heretical, this choice is dogmatic.
Are you ready to head to 18?
But not in this
It is a
instance.
long walk, and you do not even have proper gear.
Well, I shall make do. Lead the way.
Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs.
I hate how slow he's reading.
But that is no longer relevant.
Something hits your heart with a sharp crackle, and you are consumed by unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. I promised you a special destiny, Holt. It's time to fulfill it.
Careful, careful.
be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warren Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Ah, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
I always answer this one, like, what is the meaning of this? But I think I'm gonna go with this one right now. Voltivia, you two-faced scum! You are the one behind this mayhem!
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber. This void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred warrant of trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates to the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
What is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
Ooh, this is a new one. I never had this one. What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy? You sordid, wretched piece of grogshite.
Wretched? What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind. Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench Fon Valencius watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
Fight the voice in your head. Get out, I'm not a puppet. The voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you onto your feet and making you take a step toward the gates looming in the center of the chamber. I enjoyed that one. Fuck you. This is basically what that one said. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two amber-like irises. Examine the device. Not all skill checks are automatic. Like some, it gives you the option to try. So yeah, attacks you succeed. You carefully inspect the design of the gate conjugator for what immediately catches your eye is a strange alloy that was used as material for the machine's compartments, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. And we gained experience! The servitor on the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward, closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp, metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. Look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or protruding piece of rebar inside. Ah,
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
examine the sentinel. The servitor looks noticeably different from the others you are used to. Its skin covering is stitched together with copper thread, and it has metal hinges in places of the standard joints. It seems that the creator of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of ordinary automatons. Well, since we don't have a choice, let's place our hand into the Sentinel's maw. What could happen? What could go wrong? The Sentinel's jaw clamps around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the server monitors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vivid screen of the conjugator flickers. Several long minutes pass, the Sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath. Maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel? The conjugator? Is it a fragment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Well, suppose this is the onset of warp madness they warned me about.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
It wouldn't have mattered whatever choice we picked there, by the way.
There is still another way.
I always have a backup plan.
Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of the document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade, and bestow upon it to be paragon of humanity, unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost. To triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns through pain to greatness. The text is moving actually rather fast. You can't calmly read this one out.
The child of the house to safety.
What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel standing by.
Mobile unit of the Warren Center. Are you the Warren Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel, designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Faster! Restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I'm trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
I need a weapon. I'm utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
The servo skull goes silent, its relays clicking. Second after second passes, and you realize that the servo skull will not answer you. Well, then lead me away from here.
Middle and upper decks.
Alright. The enormous gate matches the importance of the thing they protect. The massive doors are made of heavy metal and look impregnable. Well then, let's see the point of trade again. Rumble, rumble. Rumble in the jungle.
Run, fools, or fall! Master, whatever are you doing in the Warren Chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me, what is the meaning of this?
Conrad Vogtevir is a traitor. When we parted ways in the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
Okay, he's clearly serving the unholy gods of the warp.
Serving the gods of the war? Kunrad is a heretic. Oh, Voidfear, you void rat. Madness. And this mutiny is likewise his doing, no doubt.
Unquestionably.
Saints' blood! And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Master. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
He hands you a weapon. And armor. Which I gladly take. The kit I cannot use. I don't have the appropriate skills for that. So, yeah.
Your seneschal is always there for you. Let's patch you up. That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead.
Cool.
The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
How did you find me, by the way?
You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Voxcast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
I think the Warren Sentinel may have sent that message. It appeared when I opened the chamber.
Warren Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort. The Warren Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken.
I apologize, by the way, if you heard that.
Why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
What exactly has gone wrong with the translation?
I am no helmsman, or God Emperor preserve me navigator. However, I have spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Gellerfield has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the war. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
The Navigator's Sanctum. Very well. Will you lead the way?
Absolutely. Let us proceed.
To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
Get out of my way! To the dark powers!
Don't you dare to cross us!
All of you will bleed!
Yeah, add that one to daring. But then I said like, okay, this one will be normal. Yeah, and that's a turn to custom back again. Yeah. I suppose then it is considered. I didn't see like those sliders change, so I'm assuming I'm still on daring. Whatever that means. But yeah, in proper combat we can actually like position our troops, like currently I'm positioning myself. I have a rather long range weapon, so I can definitely stand in the back somewhere. Let's just go there. The Seneschal is a melee unit, so we will place him somewhere close by. And let's start.
I'll see to it personally. Who, if not me?
Ah.
I took care of this one.
Like this unit can actually attack 2 times in a turn. One with the charge, but I currently suck at properly triggering that one.
Crush the feeble!
He still has an AoE cleave though.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Out of my way!
Just a minor setback.
I'll see to it personally. I'll make it happen. You never stood a chance.
Moving within their attack range will trigger attacks of opportunities, so not only leaving but also moving within it. So that is something to be wary about.
Victory is imminent. On fewer time.
So then we can use the charge actually. Okay, too close. Oh well.
It's as good as done. I'll see to it, but your end was inevitable. I have a nose for profit and a taste for adventure.
All right. We can actually loot those folks. It's not much that we are collecting, but still. In the escape screen, you may have seen it, like there's also the formation button. Currently that would be our formation, but we can also adjust it whichever way we like. Like so. That. Sure. Let's go with this one,
Rise to the
I
top,
suppose.
or get left in the dust.
We do have a level up, so we can take a look at that one. When we created the character, you've seen this screen. Now what it contains. Like this here, available talents. It would both contain both like the abilities of the operator, the abilities of a Voidborn, and also the abilities of a sanctioned Psyche. These are different, like those are just skill upgrades. We can upgrade our logic, our tech use, awareness, lore, things. Currently I would yeah, more rational arguments and stuff. I think I would go with that one or the tech use for now. I think I go with the logic skill. Though tech use would also be nice. You know what, I go with tech use. Why not? As for the Seneschal, he also has like an upgrade. I would go with Carouse, which is a skill that is affected by the toughness of the character. I think it's like defensive abilities or stuff like that. So yeah. He will be the melee, the only melee unit of ours for the longest of time, so I think that would make sense.
On the threshold of the blinded guide, doom comes from the heavens.
Master, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. Their voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abela, how they sing.
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valancius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate, to die in the waves of the immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn, and in the roaring blaze I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
The entity in your consciousness shrieks and crawls in deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind. As if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the enginarium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Enginseer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
Officers frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Ethelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Ethelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
Well, we must see if the navigators fell.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
Ah, bloody hells.
Your emperor won't save you.
Yeah. Hmm.
Here we go.
I forgot to take her with me. Oh well. Can move here. Like, she has already a lot more veil degradation. This is something an operator can trigger. Yeah, I'm not there before him.
They
So
who discern
whatever.
the future on the battlefield.
These abilities with the staff, they also
No can
trigger
do.
the warp, which is not good. However, we also have a different kind of weapon that we can alternatively use, which we will just now. But yeah, that's what I meant with line of fire.
Anything else?
That is if you hit. Yeah, let's not do that with her, I think. Ah.
Will do.
But That's still quite alright. So.
At your beck and call. It will be done. I took care of this one.
I'll make it happen. I'll see to it personally.
Ah, I missed completely. Oh well.
Hold on.
He did something, I suppose.
But of course. There is movement in the Empyrean.
Can move to here actually, I think. Then attack.
At your beck and call.
That way we saved a little bit of movement, so maybe we can charge that guy as well.
Victory is imminent. Reduced to dust.
Nice. Thespidas. The creature in the chair appears as if it has become one with its throne. You see pink parchment-like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the two dark, gill-like slits on its cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut, the two ordinary eyes as well as the third one that sits on the center of its forehead.
I believe Master Vespider still lives. Well, the servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
Hey, are you alive?
Your time is short.
You are in need of help. We need to get you out of that chair.
Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
It came from beyond! His body is not his!
Idira's scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the sight of the navigator succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption. Paroxysms of corruption.
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me.
The navigator continues to convulse violently in his seat, shrieking and cackling, but then his fist stops abruptly. His face is drenched in black and crimson. The dark ooze from under his third eye has turned from a trickle into a stream, mixed with blood coming out of his nose, and there is purplish swelling around the eye.
Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help.
Who torments you?
The urge. Kneel before the ascent of a new champion. When the rite is complete, this shell will burn. first, and thousands of Moors will accept the sacrifice offered to the edge of daybreak by the bringer of twilight, the one marked by the will of the gods.
The navigator is still alive, but barely so. What do we do now?
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo skull relayed to us earlier.
Spiders. Good luck. And thank you.
The navigator does not give her a response. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under the closed eyelids, and the vox at the base of the chairs bellowing out static into sparse with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter.
I am at your service.
Can we pick up some loot? I think that is all loot.
Keep your wits about you.
Ship's as good as ours! It's all over for you!
I shall pity not your enemies. I shall heed not their pleas.
Somebody shoot these...
I shall betray
If you
not
heard
your
that, that
tenets,
was my
nor
fluffy
stray
poofy
one step
Pucha
from
Hashbando, by the way.
Take not your gaze from me. Leave me not without your grace.
I told you he would protect us.
My god. My light. My emperor.
All them elephants in the room. The white-haired woman turns to face you, her dark eyes blazing, the weapon quivers in her hand, and for a brief moment it seems she is not going to stop and will instead continue eliminating every target she sees, starting with you.
Sister Argenta! Sister Argenta, it is a relief to see you. We require all the forces we can muster.
Your face. It is unfamiliar. Who are you?
Holt van Valencius, the Lord Captain's heir, apparently.
The hour is dark and daunting. Ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades ignite with the archenemy's hunger. I will do what I must to halt the advance of the Dark Forces. But in these dire moments, little can be trusted. So I must know, why are you here?
Sister, I beg of you. Now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed Master of Whispers. Edelthrad the Heir is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. We are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do just that.
The Seneschal is right. There is no time for
Very
talk.
well. We may leave it at that. For now. I cannot wait to rain righteous fire down upon each and every heretic.
what is happening at the officer's deck?
Massacre, my lord. And heretics are not just killing the crew. Some kind of blight is sweeping through the decks, filling the air. I saw people going mad the moment they breathed it in, screaming about seeing their dead comrades, tearing out their eyes. I implore you, my lord, be on your guard.
Who are these people with you?
Overseer of Middle Deck AL-84, my lord. We were rounding up everyone we could find in the attack compartments when we ran into an ambush. Just about every enforcer fell. These are the survivors.
We must go get to the main hall of the deck.
Through this door. I shall join you, for it is my duty to the God Emperor to destroy this heresy.
We will follow. For now, we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl in through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a tectomat with us. But we'll see what we can do without one.
Good to hear it. Sister?
Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path through fire and darkness.
So, and thus we have gained a full party. This time not forgetting to take her with me. We have also found some better equipment. It is not better by much, but still. Yeah. We should probably also equip some melee weapons. Just in case. If we are being attacked in melee. And you should probably get rid of that thing. So, this time taking everyone with me. Not leaving someone standing outside. I am kind of tempted to end the recording right here then. It will continue for quite a bit, and especially I think with the final boss of the prologue I will need a couple attempts. At least it took me some. Anywho's, if you stayed thus long in the video, I hope you've enjoyed, and regardless, I wish you a lovely day. And yeah, mayhap, see you in the next one, and bye bye. Bye.